Video is about a little bit of can you accidentally happen to enter the astral realms and the mental disorders and so on. And sometimes people who start out meditating and they don't have any spiritual thinkings, they just meditate since they want to feel relaxed and so on, and sometimes it happens that they can really accidentally enter into the astral. And also sometimes if you use drugs, let's say that you've been using drugs with your friends for the first time and have a bad trip and enter that way. And in the old days, mental disorder was always treated as a spiritual cause. And nowadays, of course, we know that toxins in the water or earth and drugs, illness, alcohol in some cases too much and so on, and other things can cause that as well. But being tormented on the astral, it isn't fun for anyone. And sometimes the astral nasties latch on like into the real life, just like they piggyback you into the real life. Especially when people don't believe in spirits or anything like that, so they don't really have the knowing how to cut cords or throw them back out where they belong. And they cause trouble in this realm. And you have so many different beings on the astral. You have angels and demons, then you have all the elementals, dragons, others, demons, ancestors and the restless spirits and so on. And something that I've came across with a young woman was that she was haunted by her own double. I don't know how to describe it better, but it looked like her and she thought that she saw her, and it is like her lower self, if you put it in those words, were haunting her, and she saw her shadow self in one way, and that shadow self, since she wasn't into spirituality and so on, was very too dark for her to handle. She didn't know anything about psychology or anything. So she was terrorized by her own self. And then seeing your own thought forms. If you are always thinking, and sometimes that happens to people who don't have any idea also, that they are hating their neighbor, they are disliking, they are jealous, they want bad things to happen to their friends out of jealousy and so on. And when they are filled with that, they create thought forms as well, and they can roam free on the astral. So that can also latch on and take energy from them without them knowing. And so there are so many different ways it can go wrong when people don't have any kind of understanding and they don't really believe in anything either. And since it's a multiverse of realms, I think there is at least 21, a little bit of different layers, different entry points. And if you want to help people like that, there are fantastic healers who are very good on the astral realm. I'm not one of them. I can't visualize and I can't put myself into that state. I'm usually pulled up out of my body and taken somewhere. And so that isn't really like that I can focus and enter in like shamanic journeying or something like that. But I can battle their demons otherwise with magic. And of course I have angels who do that for me, and I go in with Hashem. And but one thing, if you want to help somebody, is that you should nourish your own soul before going into the astral. And you must have a spirit there who you really can trust. And you can fight other demons and help them, but it is a difficult topic, since they have to accept that they are somehow involved in this themselves. And then of course you can try strengthening the aura for them and cut off cords for them, even if they are unknowing. Soul retrieval is very difficult if they don't even believe they have a soul. But I think there are good enough healers who knows, at least those shamans knew how to do that. So I'm positive that there are ways to, and angels can help with soul retrieval, but in that case the person must want it themselves. Things don't happen just because you want it. You have free will, so they must ask for help. And then of course there is assistance with healing the soul, and you must have plenty of forgiveness, love and patience and tolerance. And then you ask them to get endurance and strength. And then we go to the basics: acceptance, action and hope. And so if somebody is really troubled, you can take action, go in with Hashem, but if they don't want to face it, or they are unable to, you can at least help them to try to fight off the demons. But if they are creating thought forms out of their own mind, and hatred and spite and bitterness or victimhood, or that they deserve more than they... Some people feel that they deserve everything and they don't really do anything in real life, and that's just the way some people are. There is no end to that. But you can... but if that person is attacking your family, go in with Hashem and put out protection against your family members, and then you go on with Hashem, who works directly with removing demonic curses and throw them out and build up. And these are not short rituals. Work at least 11 days with each Shem, and then you follow on with the other, and then you bring in Shem for the healing, and so on. But you have the list in my videos on the Shem, and you just focus in. So I would do that I take one Shem to remove demonic curses for 11 days, and at the same time I take one for healing of the soul, or nourishing the soul, or teaching spirituality, one for those. So we have 2 working every day for 11 days, and then we go for the next 11 days, and so on. And it is just like in real churches or in the old faith, exorcism usually takes years. But it is a thing that can be done, and it isn't like in Hollywood. And if it's just more simple astral nasties or something very low, and you are good on that, then it might go quicker. But to get people to understand that they are often causing themselves that is the big trouble. People don't see that they can create anything evil by themselves, especially when they don't believe. So I hope this might inspire you somehow, and there is always hope at the end of the tunnel, and it's always darkest before dawn, and never give up. And when you are fighting out of love for your family, That is the strongest magic you have, so don't be afraid, and just get on with it, I would say, and you will have help on the way. And if you have any experience on these matters and so on, or any good tips that you can share in the comments, please do, since those who ask the question might benefit from them. I don't work with crystals and those sort of things, so I don't really have experience on that. But I know that tourmaline and obsidian are protective and so on, but I don't really work that way. So if you have any tips or ideas, leave them in the comments. Bye for now. Have a magical, magical day.